All right, we are live. Hey guys, welcome into our weekly live stream as always at 6 p.m. London. And we have another very interesting guest today. His name is Alejandro Bonilla. He is a customer success manager, Metrics platform. We're glad to have you with us today, Alejandro. If we can see him, if somebody can show us, Alejandro, please. Elena, yep. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me now? Okay, perfect. Let's invite. Right. How do you usually? This is a question from me. How do you usually explain this to a person that doesn't know much about crypto, or he's just or she's just trying to get in and heard some really great news from all over the social media that you have to buy a coin today because this is the future. Like, what do you tell them? Like I say, stop, think, read before you do, and they're like, well, I'm gonna lose time. It's gonna drop or it's gonna go up again. Like, how do you stop your friends and make them think?
Yeah, so for me, when my friends come to me for kind of understanding the crypto markets and getting some advice in that regard, I think 8 is a great example. I mean, it is definitely a blue chip name from the Bored Ape Yacht Club said. But in terms of the actual utility behind it, it's still yet to be seen. So the tokenomics on it necessarily aren't the greatest, especially since so much of it was airdrop. Because that was immediately dumped on the market. At least
Yeah.
I know from my perspective, some of my friends that had received that airdrop, at least half of that they were already selling to the market, and kind of holding the other half as like a moon bag, which has got a great perspective on it. I'm gonna sell half, but I'm also gonna keep half just in case I'm wrong,
Right.
because you always have to kind of have like that hedging mentality. And being in the crypto space, that's kind of what we're doing already. It's a hedge against the current financial system that we have. That's why we're taking more of the independent route, more of the sovereign individual route, and actually owning the keys to our money and kind of being in control at all times. So tokenomics definitely have to factor into them. I like to say to them, look at what's happening with the dollar. Sure, it felt great when everyone was getting stimulus checks, at least in the United States of America. But now you're kind
Right.
of seeing the effects of that when it ends, with oil prices, with food prices, everything that keeps going up. And really, the money is not going up along with that. So when you're getting a token and you're looking and investing in that, you have to make a logical approach to it and say, all right, this will go up. Sure, it might come down some, but if I really look at it from a set point of time, let's just say 2020, for example, you're still up a lot. So you just have to factor these in and take that long-term approach.
Exactly. Do not think short term. Do not try to buy today and sell in 2 days, thinking that you're gonna make $1 million. Usually, 99% of the time, it does not happen. It happens, but not all the time. And yeah, when everybody was, when that A board was hyping, couple of months ago, I've had a lot of people that bought right away. That first day it went out in 5 exchanges, and I was surprised too. Like, this is cool. Like, I can't even imagine how much money they spent to be listed on 5 top exchanges. But it was cool. But at the same time, like, they are telling you, there's all hype about around it and stuff. But they are telling you, we airdrop a bunch of tokens that people have. And like, it would be logical to think that they are going to drop it that this first day, when the token is out. So, and this is what happened. But anyways, I know some people that
Absolutely.
make good money on it, that first day, but I know a lot more people that lost. So yeah, we always have to dive in to all the details, like you said, white paper, tokenomics, and make our own decision without only looking at the advertising of a certain project. Cool. Thank you for that, Alejandro. Uh, let's answer this interesting question. We kind of covered ways to analyze crypto token before investing in it. So the next question would be, how can people make money using token metrics?
Yeah, so for those that don't know, tokenimics is an artificial intelligence and machine learning company. Pretty much aiming to simplify the art of investing. So we grade every crypto asset on a scale of 1 to 99, kind of similar to like taking a test in school. If you get 100% on the test, you did the best you possibly could. Kind of the same thing with cryptos themselves. So we really wanted to make it very simple because I know it can be kind of scary to first venture into investing and say, oh, wow, like there's so many options. Where do I put my money? So we use the artificial intelligence to really make informed decisions. It's pretty much broken down into four components, which is a fundamental analysis, technology review, actually going through the code, any security risk, any bugs. Next would be the actual technical analysis, so doing the charting. And then lastly, quantitative analytics. So just going through a lot of the performance metrics, whether it's Sharpe ratio, Sortino ratio, compound annual growth rate, to really compile all four of those categories into making one overall score. So for us, in terms of how to make money with token metrics, is really this easy as you find kind of a good spot in the market, which is anything 80% or above, we would consider bullish. So when a coin first becomes bullish, we would go ahead and purchase that asset, and you kind of just let the AI do the work from there because incrementally the price will go up based on that high score. And then as that score starts to decrease, whether it's 5% decreases or 7% decreases, you actually look to start deleveraging from that position. On top of that, that other component, which is technical analysis, we actually automate it for all of our customers. So we have a bot that essentially issues bullish and bearish indications on certain projects. And so if you really just buy when it says bullish, you're able to run it all the way up and then just pretty much sell when it says bearish. So I think a prime example of this would be just like the whole Terra Luna fiasco, because I know that
Oh
impacted the
yeah.
whole crypto market so heavily. So our model actually was bearish on Terra Luna on April 14th at 81.54. So if you would have just listened to it, sold at 81.54, or even opened up a short position, you definitely would have made or even saved yourself a lot of money compared to where it is at today. So those are just some of the simple ways that you can utilize token metrics to really make yourself money. On top of that, our research team, we pretty much break it down into two sectors. The team that does the fundamental analysis is our market analyst team. And then the team that does the technology review is our blockchain engineering team. So of course, they're tasked with different responsibilities. For the market analyst team, they're actually sectored down even further to like a DeFi sector, NFT specialist. So we really want to corner the different spaces in the market because obviously it's just going to continue to grow and grow, and not one person's going to know everything that's happening across the whole market. So really getting these
Right.
sector specialists to give you the best picks within those particular sectors definitely can help out, especially from a research side. And then same thing for the blockchain engineering side, just going through the actual code of these projects, really understanding what's a good project, what's not, what has utility in the future, and what may not.
This is great, and I really like your honesty. With there are tools like that where you can basically set your set the price where you want to sell something, or you want the platform to decide for you and be really trusted. But also at the same time, you can also dive into the project yourself, especially if you're a technical person. You can look at the code yourself or the white paper and understand it yourself. Do that as well. But yeah, this is great that we have so many, especially in US. So many talented people are doing some great things. Like you guys, we're helping newcomers not to lose a lot, on crypto, especially when they're new, and help them build their way up in their investments. This is great, and I like to hear more and more projects like that. When I went to the local cafe here in Bay Area, San Francisco, last weekend, and a lot of people are into crypto a lot, even though like there's not a lot of big crypto projects that are located here, but most of the young generation is into crypto. And I was surprised that not only young people but also older people too. I went to that cafe, and the waiter over there, he saw my shirt and he was like, "What is this?" And I said, "This is our crypto project." And he was like, "Oh, I'm into crypto too." And he got kind of sad. I'm like, "What happened, man?" He was just, I just lost $9,000 on Luna. I'm like, Jesus, even older people are like that, and this is not what we want to hear. We want to hear that people are making money but not losing money, because this guy is probably never gonna buy anything else. Since I believe that Luna was the only choice that he decided to make and purchase, and here you go, he lost it all. So yeah, thank you for doing what you're doing. This is great. Let's do one more question, and then we are going to answer a couple of questions from the community. So, can people use token metrics if they are long-term investors? If you can cover that part of that as well.
Absolutely. So we do like to corner both sides of the market, the short-term side, which is encompassed with our daily, weekly, and monthly timeframes, but of course the long-term side as well. So actually our CEO is a value investor himself. He actually really believes in that long-term view. So do I. So in the sense of using it as a long-term investor, one, we have a low frequency trading strategy, which is really optimized for like more of a quarterly or a yearly time frame. Of course, hodling is also a great alternative. But when you see like a lot of the drawdowns that you have in the market, maybe that's not necessarily the best choice all the time, unless it's something that you're for sure going to stick in for the long term, which of course you can always dollar cost average on the way down. But for us, the fundamental review is really essential, as well as that technology review for a long term project. Because if the code is good, anything we've seen with an 85% code review score or higher has done amazing in a bear market. So it definitely weathers the storm, and it's got all the opportunity to really seize on a lot of the opportunities that may have lost with other tokens. So something like Chainlink, obviously that was a high performer in the last bear market, really starting in 2019. It's kind of one of those sore thumbs that really stuck out. I'm sure a lot of attention was brought to it, and that's because it did on our side have a very high technology score. From the fundamental side, just that use case, the actual team behind it, looking at the investors that are in a certain project. If you really do like the research behind particular projects investors, you could see some investors that really never lose in their portfolios. So one that comes to mind for me personally is like Andreessen Horowitz. I think they're one of the top VCs in the game, if not number one. So
Right.
anything they touch almost goes to gold. Facebook, Instagram, you name it. So just looking at the crypto projects that they're involved in, getting an understanding of what those are aiming to do, what kinds of what sectors of the market they're cornering. Um, Looking at that for the long term, you really can't lose because you're going to be putting your money with theirs.
That's one thing, and then if you're if something's happening with your project and there's a couple of $1 billion behind your back, saying, "Hey, we're here if you need us." That's a good sign. That's always a good
Absolutely,
sign. So,
definitely.
yeah, cool. Yeah, that's absolutely, you're absolutely right. So, uh, thank you for answering my questions, Alejandro. That was all great. A lot of useful information. I'm sure a lot of useful information for our users that are listening to us right now. I think we are ready to answer a couple of questions of the community. Are we, Olga? Let's start. Let's read one of the first question that you pick.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions today. I want to start with one from Averna underscore Elena 72. It states, how do you
Okay,
envision the future of cryptocurrencies in, say, 50 years from now?
that's a
Ooh,
great question.
in 50
Uh,
years. That's quite a time frame. So honestly, for 50 years, I'm not necessarily 100% sold on the long-term use of cryptocurrency. And the only reason I say that is just because of quantum computing. So once quantum computing really gets started and kind of takes over, you have seen reports that it could really mess up with cryptography, which obviously is like the driving force behind cryptocurrencies. So 50 years is definitely quite a leap. I don't know. I think virtual currencies definitely will be a thing in the future. So I mean, if anything's going to make it, I would definitely say crypto is going to make it in 50 years. But I honestly would look at it more so of a time frame of 5, 10, 15 years, really before that becomes mainstream. So definitely in a great spot right now. We're still early to the game.
Yes, and this is amazing. This is what I like. Every time something happens or some coin goes down, or if anybody loses money around you, I'm still telling myself we are still in the beginning, and this is great. We're still gonna make some. Okay, that's cool. Olga, let's do the second question.
Second question comes from Professor MD1, and it states, what aspect of grand time tokenomics would give you confidence to invest in grand token?
Yeah. So for me, I love what the project's aiming to do. So it's actually something I was pitching to my team as well. In terms of when we're doing surveys, really utilizing that tokenization aspect of, yeah, you're going to be earning tokens for completing these tasks. So that's something I definitely like from the tokenomics perspective. That deflationary burn each day, I think, is actually a really bullish catalyst. Once you're burning so much, you're really lowering the supply. So if there's not going to be too much available on the market, and that's really being controlled, then you're definitely going to see an asset that's going to keep going up over time.
Thank you, Alejandro. Thank you for your honest feedback on that. And I think we're going to do one last question, and we're going to be wrapping up.
All right, one last question is coming from Bora underscore Nicolja 81, and it says, Raphael, are you planning another live broadcast with the same guest in the near future?
Well, our community loves you, Alejandro. So if everybody wants to see the guy again, absolutely yes. Why not? We are definitely going to invite Alejandro again with some more interesting questions, and I'm sure he's going to give us a lot more info on his project, what they're doing, what their progress is, and also something about us too. Maybe we should even schedule a quick call, and you guys are going to recommend us how to improve or change something, or I always like to hear feedbacks. So definitely yes, if everybody, we're going to do, let's do this, we're going to do a vote in the last couple of days where we had three guests recently, and we're going to have our users to decide who they want to see again. And Alejandro, I think you're winning because this is the first time I see this this kind of comment when users asking when you're coming back again. So this is great. Thank you. For today, though, we are going to be wrapping up. Thank you again, Alejandro, for being here today, for giving us so much useful information, answering questions of our community, and hopefully we will see you again soon. Thank you, Olga, for announcing all the questions, and to all our users. And I will see you guys again next Wednesday at 6 p.m. London time, as always. And we're going to have some more guests and talk about some more interesting topics. So thank you so much, and have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, you too.